might have just landed my PB bass.
As the winter months roll in, so too does storm season. Unless you've been locked in a room with no windows lately, the UK has been battered by strong winds and rain for the last week or so. For many, this sadly means disruption and chaos. However, for the short anglers among us, this gets us twitching at the windows, waiting for that first sign of stillness after a storm. This is because it can make for some fantastic inshore fishing after a big blow. Lots of nutrients and resources collect on the shoreline, bringing the fish in, and they can be feeding hard. This period of unsettled weather has also come at a time on my fishing journey where I felt the need for something a bit special. I've been fishing a lot lately and catching all sorts of wonderful species, but it's been a while since I caught one of those special fish. I mean the type you catch and text all your mates about straight away, the type of fish where you take 5 or 6 photos just to get that right angle. So with this in mind, as soon as the weather window opened, I headed out.
And that's brought me to here. A venue that I haven't actually fished since earlier this year, probably springtime. Sandbanks. So in terms of tactics for tonight, I've got a mixed bag. 3 rods, keeping it fairly simple however. On the left rod, I've got a simple 2-hook flapper with sand eel and squid. On the right rod, 2-hook clip down flapper, which actually has a mixture. On the top bait, I've got a bit of crab with some mackerel on it, and the bottom bait is a simple bit of a slither of mackerel. On the third rod, my bonus rod that I've been liking to fish lately, but hasn't actually done anything for me much yet, that's got a big 6.0 Pennell setup with a 6.0 meat hook I think it is, and like a 6.0 chinu hook behind it. And that's with a big mackerel bit of head and guts. And all I've done with that one is walk it down the end of this groin, just flop it to the very corner side of that groin, walk it back, and set it up with a little bell on there, and we'll see if it can pick up any lurking bass that are around the groin, around the stones, anything like that. So it's a bit of an experiment tonight to see what this storm has brought up. And the first thing I did actually, even before setting my gear up, was have a little bit of a look around the high tide mark, just to see what's been brought up by these storms over the last couple of days. And I can see all sorts of mussels and razor clams and bits and bobs, which is what's going to be bringing the fish in hopefully. That's the whole reason, the idea behind this kind of post-storm fishing. That it will really bring up a lot of the nutrients up onto the shoreline and give the fish a reason to be here. And there are a couple of things I'm a little bit concerned about in terms of the rainwater that we've had. Obviously I'm just to the exit of Poole Harbour where the River Frome does run in. So we'll probably have a lot of fresh water coming out this way over the last couple of days. But I'm hoping I've left it just about long enough that it's not going to impact the fishing. Having said that, there are obviously a lot of species that don't mind fresh water. Like bass, flounder, you'll find them in estuaries where there's quite a lot of fresh water. So I'm hoping shouldn't make a difference. Now we do actually have another named storm due in tonight. Although it doesn't look to be bringing much in terms of wind, it is bringing a lot of rain. We've actually got a yellow weather warning for rain on the south coast here. And I actually made the brilliant decision to forget my raincoat. So I've got this hoodie, I've got my wellies, I have got my waterproof bottoms in the bag on me, but I don't have a coat. Hopefully we can get a good session in and pack up before that rain arrives. But we're here, we're giving it a go, a little bit of an experiment, see what happens. It does feel nice to be fishing Sandbanks again. As I say, I haven't fished it all summer. The main reason for that is because of the parking prices. It's extortionate during the summer to park here, even for a few hours. But now that we're in winter pricing, I can park the car again there. It's not too expensive at all and have a good session. But I do like it down here. It's a lot quieter than the kind of Southbourne and Boscombe ends of the beaches and stuff, even in the evenings. And it's really peaceful. And can produce some good fish. Well, whilst we wait for these ton of fish to start running through and biting my bait, I'm gonna get a bit of grub down me, a bit of dinner. What you've got just outside of kind of where I'm fishing here beyond the groins is a boat channel. It's marked on Navionics. If anyone's ever come into Poole Harbour, there's 2 entrances to come into Poole Harbour by boat. This is the kind of lesser used, smaller ship entrance, which is marked by a voyage system. And in that voyage, as you normally would have, there is a bit of a gully where it deepens out. Not anything crazy, I think it's only about 1 or 2 metres deeper than either side, but it does form a gully, which of course can hold resources and often hold fish. But what I've done is I've tried to place one rod on the shorter side of that gully, at the very start of that kind of slope, and then I've tried to send my clip down rig a little bit further out and try and reach the other side of that gully really. So I'm kind of covering both sides of it roughly, you know, I can't be too exact, especially in the pitch black. So fingers crossed we find some fish in there, we find a bit of tidal movement, and who knows. But for now, get some food down there. Oh, I may have screwed up here not bringing this coat, and it's starting to rain as well. So I think the temperature I can deal with, but if I get wet, it's not ideal. It wasn't supposed to start raining until about 10 PM, which was when I was going to pack up and go home, but it's about 7:30 now and it's already started. I had a fish to warm me up and settle the nerves.
There's been countless times I've been sat in my bivvy, in the wind and rain, begging to the fish gods for a bite, but to no avail. However, this time, they were listening.
Well guys,
And boy did they deliver.
bonus rod has finally gone off. Give him some good head shakes. might have just landed my PB bass.
I am sorry for the pretty poor footage for this fish, but it was genuinely one of those moments I was so engrossed in the fishing and the moment I completely forgot about the camera and really anything else. Which I guess is really why these moments are so special. Nothing else mattered apart from landing a spectacular animal.
Oh wow, check out this. Let's go guys. I don't know if he's my PB bass or not. I have actually forgotten my measure, which is really annoying, but I've measured him against a bit of fishing line and snipped the line to his length. I am going to get a weight on him, but lengthwise he might be a little bit smaller. What I'll do is I'll measure that line when I get home, and I'll put in there if it is my PB or not, but it's definitely my PB shore caught bass. Whether it beats my boat bass, I'm not sure, I can't tell. But that was on that bonus rod that I had literally tucked in on the groin, to the side of the groin, with a mackerel head and guts. I'm going to put him back in the bucket and I'll get a weight on him. I think he's heavier than my PB because he is fat. That is a feeding fish. Oh, what a beautiful fish. Oh, get it. I don't know if you're gonna... Oh, the light's gone off. He's just shy of 6 pounds. Give it 5.95. Give it 6 pounds. 6 pound bass. I think that's my PB, guys. Oh my god, get him. Right, we're gonna get a nice release shot of him. He is gonna go back. I'm not keeping him. I've always said whenever it comes to my PB bass, if I ever beat it, they go back. Oh, a big fish. There we go. Worth the rain, worth the cold and the wind. Let's go, guys. Right, there he is, chilling in this bucket. The rain's coming down, but I don't care. Let's get him back. Just gonna let him sit in these waves for a little bit. Let some of this fresh water get over him. He's kicking. Go on, buddy. Go on. Oh, that is special. That is... Oh, guys, I can't even explain that feeling. Oh, get in! Oh, pouring down, guys. I don't even know if you can see me. Right, well, you know exactly what I'm doing again. Another mackerel head and gut at the end of that groin. Bring on the rain. Shoot, I best get you out of the rain actually. You're not as waterproof as me, but I'm sure you can probably hear the rain is pouring down now. But I'm still on such a high. I've been after a fish that's been a little bit special for probably the last few months now, and I've been really happy that Darren's been catching some special fish. You know, he had that lovely blonde ray at Chesil, with that really nice bream last time at, or a few sessions back at Milford Shingle Bank. But I don't know, I feel like I've not really had anything that I've really kind of has got the blood going for a little while now. To come out and do that on the your first cast on like, I just, yeah, this is exactly, these are the moments why, for me at least, you know, I come fishing, and I'm sure a lot of you as well. So I am really trying to embrace it and just enjoy this feeling, because I know it's not always like that. But yeah, these other two rods now, I've been in for about an hour, I sat on their baits, but I don't really care. I should bring them in for sure and check them. I can see actually there's a few little taps on them, so there might be someone hanging off the end, but get in, guys, get in. Right, enough yapping. I'm gonna get out in this rain and check these two rods, see if there's anything on them. If not, we'll rebait them, and yeah. Sorry guys, this is gonna be me for probably the rest of the session. Well, these baits seem pretty much untouched. Right, I'll get them rebaited and sent back out. Well, this rain, to be fair, isn't too intense at the moment. In fact, it's kind of just barely spitting now. So if it stays like this on and off, I can deal with that. It's not going to soak me through. And even if it does, it's still quite mild actually. But again, who cares? Could be bass. Right, I'm half tempted actually to fish these, especially my mackerel bait on the flapper rig, a little bit closer in. Especially because I caught that bass right next to the groin, just cruising round. Let's see. Yeah, the only thing to be conscious of is, turn this off, where I've got that little bonus rod, the third rod that caught me the bass, kind of on my tripod into the side of the groin. It's go underneath my other line, so I'm having to be careful about not crossing the lines and reeling one in with the other and all that kind of stuff, but it's clearly worth it. Guys, I completely forgot. I do have a measure in my tackle box, so I can get a measure on him now rather than having to wait till I get home. Alright, let's be optimistic, shall we? Let's get the whole thing out. Right, drum roll please. This is going to be a bit finicky, isn't it? So, he is 27 centimetres. Nah, I'm only messing with the wrong line. How'd you go, didn't I? Okay, he actually measured in. Oh, he's big. He is 66 centimetres. Get in, 66 centimetre bass. That's what we had, 66 centimetres, 6 pounds, all the sixes. Oh, well, the devil is making me lucky tonight. That is confirmed a new PB for me. Buzzing. Right guys, well I've just checked the weather and we've we've definitely got a fair bit of rain coming in what looks like just over an hour's time, so it's 8:30. So what I'm going to do is I think fish it out till 9:30. I mean, my session's already been made. You know, nothing's going to beat that fish, and if it does, then this is just insane. But you know, I'm happy now. I've done what I've came to do, really. I would like to catch more fish, obviously, and if I'd got my raincoat, maybe I would have debated staying out in the rain a little bit longer, but I don't think it's going to be worth it. I think it's going to be pretty torrential rain, and I don't want to get my mic and camera gear and filming stuff and any electronics that I've got on me, which is actually a fair amount, soaking wet, especially when I haven't got a raincoat either. So I'm going to fish this out for an hour and then pack down about 9:30. So there's still time. There's still time for something to happen. But yeah, if I can pack up at 9:30, I'll be home probably about 10:15. You know, 3 hours ish fishing of actual fishing time. I'm happy with that. I'm more than happy with that. Oh, and also I did catch people asking on the last few videos, where's Darren? Darren is still around. Darren doesn't live as close to the coast as I do, and you know, he's still getting into it. He's still, I think, building his passion and learning the ropes and such. So you know, he can't get out as much as me, just from a logistics point of view as well. But we are out this weekend. We've got a big session down at Chesil on Sunday planned. Today is currently Tuesday, so he will be on the next video, I promise. Decided, it's about 10 to 9 now. This rain I think is going to get stronger and stronger. I mean, I know it's gonna. So I'm actually going to start my slow pack down now, get all my gear, get the bait away. I'm going to leave these rods in now with the baits that they've currently got to fish out, because what I'm noticing is where we've got such small tides, tide isn't really going down, and where we're going to get all this rainwater come through, and obviously we're still kind of, the last run of the storm from the weekend is still running out of the harbour. We're not actually, the tide's not going back. If anything, it's still coming up a little bit. And we're about 2.5 hours into the ebb, which is very, very bizarre. But this, you know, when you get storm surges and big rainfalls and all sorts, it can happen. And I'm sure all of you know what the rivers are like at the moment. They're absolutely bursting at the seams. So, you know, that water's got to run somewhere. Eventually, it runs into the sea, which is why the tides can sometimes be a little bit weird. You can get higher tides and tides that kind of push up and stay up. So yeah, that water line it's not uncomfortably close, but it's probably closer than I would choose it to be. So I'm going to slowly start packing my stuff up whilst leaving the rods out to do their thing. If I catch any fish, then it's a bonus. But yeah, it also means if we get an absolute torrential downpour and it really starts coming down, I've already done the bulk of the pack down. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to get that going, but we'll keep an eye on these rods. You never know. Worth it. Well, as you can probably tell, this weather's really picking up. The rain is coming down, the wind is proper starting to pick up as well, which wasn't forecast, but it is a storm, so it's expected, I guess. And yeah, I'm not going to push my luck. I've got more than what I expected tonight. I'm packing up and heading home, getting to some warm and dry. But thank you for watching. I'm really happy I was able to capture that in camera, that amazing fish and my PB bass. Yeah, epic. I really hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you down Chesil. That'll be our next trip, me and Darren, hopefully, to find some more fantastic fish and bringing them to you on YouTube. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Yeah, I'm gonna go dry up.